It seems I owe you an apology, General. Turns out Dr. Cross was telling the truth after all. We've located the Ancestors' hibernation chamber. Killing one of them was surprisingly simple, though I suspect that's only because the old beast was half asleep at the time. Once the creature was dead, we cut open its head and removed an organ similar to the human pineal glands. This is the source of the creature's telepathy. The military and scientific value of the specimen is incalculable. It will enable us to complete development of the Medusa device and give these bastards a taste of their own medicine. Regrettably, Dr. Cross was killed during the attack. We can all take comfort in the knowledge she died serving her country and her species.
How's it going, guys? Sleepy Jim here. Welcome to part 3 of my walkthrough of the new Call of Duty Ghost Extinction map, Awakening. This episode will be featuring the third main section of this map, which we're moving through the gate here into now. And this section has 3 obelisks you need to scan, as well as another final stand area before you have to get back to the extraction zone to beat the map. There is one area around to the left of this spot where you go down a path and you spawn in a rhino, where there's some schematics and another possible arc location if you haven't already got it by this stage of the game, which hopefully you have. So we're going to deal with the rhino here first, then we're going to be starting on the obelisks, scanning those. So searching the boxes and all that stuff here as well. And we've got the turrets going and stuff like that. So we're set up pretty good here with our skill points, even though, as I said before, we didn't really get every single challenge in this one, that's for sure. But we had enough in the end. I probably would have liked to have got the 2 turrets to that rank with my turrets, but I didn't quite get there. That would have probably been useful, but then again, you have to spend a lot of points to put them out. So yeah, if everyone has the arcs or some pretty decent equipment, you know, the Venom X and stuff like that, or in this case I guess it's called the Venom FX. It's a little bit different, maybe it's a slightly different model, but we get the Mammoth here, but eventually you take it out, so that's all good. There's a couple of lockers here and stuff like that, and we're going to be setting up ready for the obelisk in a second here. Just going to explore, get a few more of these locker items and stuff like that. I think we have a gargoyle here to take out as well. Sometimes they do seem to glitch out a little bit, those gargoyles, at the moment at least. And since this gameplay, I have unlocked one of the new armory upgrades with the teeth, which came out with this map, which was the one where you can transfer your weapon attachments when you buy a new weapon, as long as it's you know, the kind of weapon you can put those attachments on. That really would be handy for this map, because if you get the arc or whatever and you want to buy a new weapon, something like maybe the chainsaw or whatever, it'd be good to have all your attachments that you picked up transfer. So it's not the most expensive in terms of the amount of teeth you have to spend either for that one. So that's something that is probably worth getting. I don't have a lot of teeth saved up myself. I'm not one of these people that plays Extinction all of the time, but eventually I'll get there, I guess. As I've said before, I have to save up for stuff like the Hypno Knife for the Rhino and things like that. So yeah, there's a number of traps in this area, some fire traps and stuff like that. The electric traps are probably more effective, but the fire traps definitely are good. Obviously, the trick of, if you've got turrets, placing a turret where the fire trap will, you know, be burning its flame across, and then turning the fire trap on at the start of the round is a really good method of protecting your turrets and taking out some extra cryptids as well. So just waiting for everyone to pick up everything that they want and stuff like that from around this map. This is not the biggest area. Compared to the last 2 areas, it's a fairly small area of the map. And theoretically, by this point, most people should have most of the attachments that they want for their weapons. But some of the extra stuff, like I wouldn't have minded picking up some, you know, some grenades or something like that, I guess would have been a little bit helpful. I didn't quite have enough of the little red boxes to build the Venom X grenades or whatever they are that are in this map. That would have been pretty cool to show you guys, but they are super powerful. You get 5 of those when you build it, and they do a lot of damage. Sort of like a Venom X shot, but in grenade form. So yeah, we're going back to try and find some more of these red ammo boxes back in the second area of the map. Just looking around the areas here. I pick up the schematic for the Venom grenades, but I don't end up finding enough boxes to actually build this, unfortunately. This guy in front of me only needed 1 extra box. I think I end up finding 1 of them. I probably should have left that for him and, you know, shown a bit of teamwork, but I didn't think of that. I already picked it up thinking I would find more. But what are you going to do? So yeah, at this point I'm just looking around everywhere for these little red boxes. But there's not a great deal of these in this area. I think there might be only 3 that spawn in here. I'm not 100% sure on that. So yeah, just checking everywhere for these things. And then we should be pretty good to go and plant the drill in a moment here. So yeah, I get the grenade casing, but that's the only one that I end up finding in this particular game. You can see there's an arc right there as well. 2 of our team members, as I said before, were just going pistols only, so they didn't need the arc. One other guy, the weapon specialist in the team, did have it as well. So yeah, I guess we're going to have one more Extinction map after this one, at least. I personally think it will probably be the last one. I'm not 100% sure on that though. It'll be pretty cool if it wraps up the storyline, and maybe they'll bring something different the next Infinity Ward Call of Duty that comes out. If Call of Duty is still going by that stage, what with the 3-year gap and everything between developers. People are talking about the end of COD and everything, like, but I really don't see it. I don't really see it petering out too much. It's still a super popular game, even if maybe Ghost wasn't the most successful. So yeah, this challenge here, we got to kill the 10 marked aliens before any others. And we fail it right there, unfortunately. But it's all just about survival at this point. We're almost close enough to taste that success. As I think I mentioned, this was one of my very first games on this map, so I didn't really know what to expect at this point or anything like that, and I was kind of keen just to survive through to the ending on this one. I don't think I was running any relics in this gameplay myself. But since this gameplay, I've actually come back and used 3 relics, not 3, 5 relics, which is pretty cool. A couple of the new ones are not that bad. What I actually did was I went with the pistols only relic and the no ammo relic. I just ran with grenade turrets. I think I had the no class relic. What else did I have? I can't even remember, but that actually worked pretty well. What happens with that relic, with the relic where you can't actually pick up anything? You can't actually pick up ammo or anything like that at all. So basically, once you run out of ammo in your gun, that's it. So you're restricted to using equipment or traps and your turrets and stuff like that to kill the Cryptids with. And I ran that solo. Oh no, I didn't. Sorry, I ran it with 4 players. And we managed to survive, so that was pretty good. But I'd really like to see some gameplay of someone trying to do something crazy like a solo run with all 10 relics selected. That would be insane if they could pull that off. I imagine someone like, you know, Mato Master or someone, the Relaxing End maybe, would be able to do that. Maybe. It would be very difficult though. I mean, you could probably do it on point of contact. Alright, we're ready to go on this second obelisk here. Just waiting for everyone to get set up. How did that guy go down? I still don't understand. It's very weird. Alright, so I'm just moving my turrets into position and stuff like that. And right here I try to position this turret so it's going to be where the fire trap is going to go. Okay, so we're pretty good to plant the drill now. And I'll run around the back here and protect this guy who's on the grenade turret. So yeah, one thing I find when using the grenade turrets is you really are exposed at your back. So it's a good idea if you've got 2 players using the grenade turrets like we had in this game, I believe, to have, you know, have a couple of players who are watching their back and stuff like that and keeping them safe if they get some cryptids attacking them. We had a lot of ammo being dropped at this point, which was really good, really useful, especially with the section that'll be coming up here. By the way, I know I said in the first episode of this series that I was going to show you guys all of the intel cutscenes, but I had to edit out the very first cutscene due to the fact that it caused my video to be banned globally, which is crazy because I've seen a number of other YouTubers who've posted that up, so it's a bit strange that I got flagged and they didn't. But all the rest of the intel seems okay, so I've posted pretty much everything up. There's one more cutscene and then there's the final one that I'll show you guys in this video. I just thought I'd include that so you guys see the bit of the storyline of this map, so you understand what's going on in it a little bit and some of the stuff that happens. The storyline is actually pretty intense with this Extinction mode. I checked it out on the wiki, and there's a whole lot of the storyline that I didn't really follow before reading that, which is kind of interesting. So we got some crazy gargoyle action going on here. It would be so cool if you could hypno knife a gargoyle. Maybe at some point we'll get a vault unlock that'll allow us to do that if they come back. But it's all happening here. We got rhinos, we got gargoyles, we got people people going down. We got the scorpions spraying stuff everywhere. I think I have to clutch it here. I'm pretty much the last person. I thought I might end up going down there, but I think I do get the revive here, thankfully. I don't know what that rhino's doing, but yeah, that could have been game over right there if it had gone a little differently. So thank goodness. Right at the end of the drill doing its thing, pulled off another clutch, and we'll just set up again for the next obelisk. This is that dude's grenade turret, so for some reason I thought it might have been my turret, but it was his, so he has to move that one. Grab me some armor, and we'll move the drill here in a second. If you guys didn't know this already, basically the arc attachment, special attachment in this map, is a upgraded muzzle brake. So if you actually pick up a regular muzzle brake, it will switch out the arc from your weapon. So you don't want to do that once you have it attached. It does add a ton of damage to your shots. compared to the regular muzzle brake. And like I said, it does also add a lot of kick to your weapon, so makes it a little bit less accurate, even the grip. Alright, so I think pretty much everyone's set up here with their turrets and whatnot, so I'm going to hit this fire trap in a second here. Or actually, I think the other guy does in the end. I believe he's the other engineer, so that's cool. Because obviously we get the traps to last longer and stuff like that. This guy actually had to jump over him to get past him. He was blocking off this little narrow path here. But I was trying to watch his back, because he was on the grenade turret. Those grenade turrets, now that they've buffed them back to what they used to be, they are really powerful, man. They are crazy good. Which is kind of good, because they're really useful for running some of the relics, like the pistol-only relic and stuff like that. They make it more doable solo. Okay, it goes all quiet here for a little bit. I'm not sure why, but we're not even halfway through with the drill yet. Sometimes the cryptids will just take a while to spawn after you've killed them all. We've got a phantom down there as well. So yeah, this is this last area is really not that bad, considering it's the final area. Like with you know, some of the other maps, like the last area is pretty crazy and intense and hard to survive, but this one's not too bad at all. We're not quite in the very final area yet, which is in the pyramid, but that's not too bad either. I mean, you do get a lot of scorpions spawning in there, as you'll see, and a lot of rhinos, or a reasonable number of rhinos that spawn in too. But it's not too bad actually if you have everything set up properly. Now, one thing to mention, if you do have people in your team running the grenade turret, you don't want to stand in front of it, because that will block their shots. So I've noticed a lot of people, when I'm using the grenade turret, they will stand in front of me and completely block my shots. So just be aware of that. If people are using the grenade turret, don't stand in front of the grenade turret and block them off. So we're nearly done here. We've just got to polish off the last few of these cryptids. And I'll insert the next cutscene in the intel at this point for you guys to check out, just before we move through into the pyramid for the final section of this map.
We're done here, lads. Time to say goodnight.
Careful where you point that thing.
Sir, are you okay? Archer's lost it, man!
You wouldn't want to hurt yourself. Of all the people who are gonna die today, no one deserves it more than you.
Alright, so we're going to head through into the pyramid now, and there's a couple of tactics that can help you out in surviving this part of Awakening, which I'll explain. Now, I mentioned earlier that we have two engineers in the squad here. One is for upstairs and one is for downstairs. The reason for that is the engineers can repair the terminals faster than regular other classes. So that will help us repair the terminals when they turn red. There are 4 terminals, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Pretty much an even amount of cryptids will spawn both levels. Now, by the way, this is one of the locations where the intel is located, if you haven't found this one already, up here on this ledge. I failed to mantle there, so I have to go back and try again. But yeah, there's a few ways you can do this. There's a couple of positions you can get into up top here where you can defend the bottom a little bit as well. But we found it just better to have 2 at top and 2 at bottom. Now, every now and then you get the option to use the Cortex, and basically that will fry all the cryptids in the area when you use that, whenever it gets charged. So the key to this is basically when you get the rhinos spawn in, that's when you want to use the charged Cortex to destroy them. Don't use it unless you have rhinos spawn in. Now about a bit past halfway, the rhinos will stop spawning in at that point. So after that you can just use it to your heart's content. But you want to wait until you get rhinos before you use it early on here, and that is really going to help you get rid of the rhinos much easier, and you will get a bunch of rhinos spawning in while you're defending these terminals. So you want to keep all the terminals active so that it you know, charges up the Cortex or whatever it does here in this section here. If they go red, you have to repair them. You can't repair them when they're orange. You have to wait till they turn red. Obviously, you want to get rid of the scorpions because they can cause you a lot of problems with that goo that that venom. But by this point, you should have enough skill points into things like your turrets, your IMSs, your grenade turrets if you're using those. You should have Venom X and all that stuff built. And hopefully, if you have some players that can Hypno Knife a Rhino, that will be handy if they have a Hypno Knife as well. I would recommend also, if possible, keeping hold of a flare like I've got right now for the final run back. That can be really useful as well. All those things can help you get this bit done and get back to the evacuation point as quickly as possible to get that platinum escape going. But this last section, I personally don't think it's that difficult compared to, say, you know, Nightfall or something like that. It's just basically defending these terminals and then escaping. Like I said, though, you want to save hitting the Cortex for when the rhinos spawn in. We weren't using that tactic here, but that is really helpful for getting rid of the rhinos when they spawn in. So you don't have to use it. You know, you don't have to use it right away, let's put it that way. You can just wait on it. Yeah. So we're set up pretty comfortable here at the moment, but things do go a bit pear-shaped a little bit later on. We have to run around reviving people. You'll see another clutch from myself at this part. So, I mean, we could have failed this 3 or 4 times if things had gone slightly differently throughout this gameplay. But obviously, your first few times playing a new map are going to be the most difficult, where you're just learning the ropes and, you know, working out how things work and everything, the best tactics and stuff like that. So yeah, we're getting a few phantoms. We got the scorpions happening, and just going to repair this terminal here as well. So you see how quickly I repair that as an engineer, which is quite useful. One little thing here, you don't want to, when you're using the like the boosters or the ammo or the armor, whatever you're chucking out for the team support items, try not to throw them down those holes. Try and throw them into areas where your team can pick those up easily. That's pretty much Extinction 101, but a lot of people still just chuck out that stuff anywhere and make it hard for their team members. The same goes with if you get downed in the venom, in the scorpion venom. It's just basic common sense to try and crawl out of that before someone comes to revive you. I see a lot of people just laying in that stuff waiting for someone to come over and revive them. Surprising amount of people still do that, but you want to crawl out of that stuff to make it easier on your team members. It's just pretty much common sense. So I'm going to use the fire venom here to take out this rhino. In terms of which ammo is the best, it's a little bit of personal taste. I personally have the armor piercing. The reason for that is it obviously takes out rhinos a bit quicker, and the hunters as well. But it's also, you can actually only upgrade with the teeth armory in the armory 3 of the ammo types, and unfortunately my favorite, the explosive ammo, you can't upgrade at this point in time, so it's a bit unfortunate. Next best one is the armor piercing, but I notice a lot of really good players also use the incendiary, I guess for the damage over time that you get with that. So I chuck the flare here, have to do a bit of a clutch at this point here. Repair some terminals, revive some players, the usual stuff. But yeah, the cryptids really pour out of those 2 little gaps in the wall there, just between these 2 tunnels in the bottom area here. Sounds like we get a lot of scorpions up top here as well. This LMG is actually really good. It's a bit of a quandary over whether to get this one or the chainsaw if you're going for an LMG. The chainsaw has a slower reload time, but it is much more powerful. This one reloads a little bit faster, but it also you can get the sight going on it, which is good for the accuracy. So it's just personal taste. I played an escape today in a separate game using the chainsaw pretty comfortably. So I only had one down in that game, running some relics as well. Alright, so there we go. We're ready to get to the extraction point here. And at this point, you want to have one of your team members pick up the cortex. That slows you down a lot, so preferably have someone throw out the feral instincts to get the team picking that up just before they pick up the cortex and run, so you have the extra movement speed. You want to run back to the gate. The gate, for some reason, is closed again, even though we opened it up before. And you just have to plant the cortex down in front of it and then defend it for a few seconds before the gate goes down, and basically rinse and repeat for the next 2 gates as well. So at this point, if possible, you want to in my case, I actually had the ability of the engineer. I get down here, the engineer ability to pop up a shield, and that probably would have been a good chance to use it right there, but I always forget to use that. Lately I've been a bit more conscious of it, but not in this game. I could have used it on this run back at least once here. It takes quite a while to recharge it, but we'll be good here. As you run back, if you go past any traps, you want to trigger those if you've got the cash. Obviously plant all your turrets or your IMSs, what have you, because you will get a couple of rhinos spawning in as soon as you plant that cortex at the gate. Just be ready for that. Have your Venom X ready to go to wreak havoc on those rhinos. But it's only a few seconds they have to wait here anyway. It's not like in point of contact. Trying to think of its first contact or point of contact. But yeah, we're ready to move through to the next gate here now. Left the turret behind there. I probably could have moved a lot quicker here, but I was like just wondering if we were getting attacked by anything back there. So as you go through here, you want to hit that electric trap. It's very, very useful in this spot for this last gate, and it's quite powerful. I hit the fire trap. Someone else hit the electric trap already. So this is the last gate, of course, before we get back to the original area where we abseiled down, I guess, from the surface to get extracted. So we get another rhino here as well. Try and take that out with the Venom X, and we'll be just about done here for this escape. As I said, this was a platinum escape, which was pretty cool for my first escape on this map. I think you have to escape in under 1 30. Don't quote me on that, but it's about that sort of time you have to get. So guys, that is my complete walkthrough of the new Call of Duty Ghost Extinction map, Awakening. Hope you have enjoyed this. Please remember to rate and comment. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.